Good afternoon, my crafty friends. This is Debbie with Yarn Market, and today I am attempting to do a little golden book um, deconstruction. So let's see. I actually did get some of the stickers off. This one was kind of dirty, so I'm probably going to just put a sticker over there when I get done. And this is the fire engine book. And then I've taken the heat gun to get the little piece of the golden tape off. So I'm going to do the back now. This is just with my heat tool. You guys have to, this heat tool is very hot, but once it warms it up, it usually comes off pretty easily. Trying to keep my hand out of the way and just go slow. I've been using a little plastic scraper, and then I realized the heat gun was actually melting it. So I think I need to get a metal one, like a putty knife or something. I know I have something like that probably in the garage. But there we go. And then you can use this inside the book, to later when you get to that point. So yeah, and then now I just got to take the staples out. So this is like really deconstructing. So just try to use some tools, proper tools, and not like hurt yourself in any way. Let's see, this part always know if this is just like a steak knife I have over here, but what do I know what I was using before. There's this on this hole punch here that I have, there's a little metal. I don't know if this is what this is for, but it seemed to work a little pretty good the other day. So, and then also I have a staple remover, but once you get the prongs up, it's not as difficult. Like I said, it's just a little bit of work. I'm going to try the staple remover, but I wasn't having much luck with this. Oh, let's see, is it coming up? You just got to get it up a little bit because you want to cut them off. You don't actually want to pull them off because it does damage the spine. You don't want to, you want to keep that. So I'm not even sure how long this takes. So I never did time myself. Might be an hour video, you guys. So hopefully kind of just hang in there, but it does take a little bit of work. Just kind of go back and forth. There we go. Once it comes up though, and then you can use my pliers. Okay, sorry for all the noise. I know it gets kind of loud there. Now I found that this works. Everybody does it differently, but I find if I clip these off, these little prongs, and then it's not so much, going through pulling through the other side. So, and then I did find too that I had an older book and it was disintegrating. So I don't know if I can actually get that put back together or not, because the spine actually started coming apart. So maybe I'll use my cinch and just make it, make it just a journal that way. But I think these come out a lot cleaner when I cut the prongs off. Just be careful, these are sharp, it's metal. That's why the videos are not recommended for children, because of the tools that I'm using. So I always put that on there. I don't know if you guys see that or not, but yeah. There we go. So now it's apart. Oh, there's a little tiny piece of metal in there from the staple. There we go. And when you take it apart, you see that there's two signatures. So I'm going to set these aside. I'm going to clip them together though, so I don't want to lose them. Those will be the pages that, I go back in and put, fun papers in. So there is some crayon mark on here, but that's okay. But I don't, this is kind of sticky. Might try to rub that down with a little bit of either alcohol or oil. It just depends, but I'll get there. But for now, we're just going to do this, and we're going to make the new spine. The new spine is going to be, let's see, what did I say? 2 inches, 2 1/8 of an inch. So let's see, that's not a very straight side. I need to straighten that up. Here, I'm going to get the ruler. You do want a straight edge, though, to start, definitely. That's kind of straight there. This is just a box that had a little bit of weight to it. You don't want it too thick, because then you won't be able to get like an all through it. Okay, let's see. Just gotta get these edges straightened up a little bit. I think if I come down, you guys, I'm probably more in camera there. It's like this little fold mark here I don't like. Let's see. It's a little bit better. Okay, so now this is what I do. I don't like measure the book per se. I just get a mark on there. I don't know. They might be different sizes. I don't know. Just get a mark on there. I don't know. I'd have to clean that up a little bit better. Here. I think that's it. I'm just trying to use the lines on here on my mat. I'll just go ahead and go all the way across, and then that way I can continue to use this. Now, you don't really want to use something that has a bend in it like that, because, yeah, that's not good. You don't want any bends in your spine. Okay, that'll be okay. That'll be covered up. Let's cut that paper off. That's just the paper coating on the corrugated cardboard. Okay, so now I'm going to go in with the, I found that worked best for me. Like, everybody does their own spine. You can make it smaller or bigger. And then I like to do the, I like to do 2 signatures because I found that works the best. When you go in to add ephemera, it's going to expand. So, you want to make sure there's room in there. So like this one that I did, this isn't the little golden book, but see, this is completed. All the ephemera's in there. And I measured this one because I like the way that, that width is where I got my measurement. It's a similar size book, not exact. So, okay, let's see here where the knives go. And I like to try and line it up with my little marks there on the mat. Makes it kind of handy. over just a tad. Oh. It's all moving now. No, it's not being very helpful. Okay, there. That's good. Yeah, one time I did use like a spine, like it was a thick, real thick cardboard, and oh my goodness, that was just really hard to work with. So, like I said, try to get, you want it sturdy, but you don't want it, no folds in it or anything. That should work. Yep, looks good. Okay, now what I have done, I made a template because I'm making these for my craft fair that I'm doing in a couple days. Oh, this is just so I can poke holes through it. Now, this is what I do. The T is for the top. You always want to know what is the top and what is the bottom, so the T works. So now I'm going to clip this with something here. Don't want it in the way, just so it doesn't move, that's all. I take my awl and I make holes now. And it's just easier to, and then I'll use the same template once the spine is covered. I just found this is a lot easier. And I'll go in and make them a little bit bigger. And like I said, everybody does it differently, but this is just how I found. I've tried to use that, what is that thing called that makes those holes? I can't even think of the name of the piece of the tool now. What is that thing called? But I can't line it up. I mean, to me, it's just not feasible. This thing here, I don't know, what is this thing called? It's a big old giant hole punch. I like it because it goes through a lot. I can't even think of the name of it now. But like I said, I try to line it up and I can't see like where it's going. So I don't know. Maybe I'm not using it correctly. Maybe somebody can school me on that. I don't know. Okay, there we go. So now what I use is I'm just using this packing tape here. The only bad thing is when I bought it, it's shiny. I didn't mean to get shiny, so I have to go in and sand it a little bit just so it'll, stick. So what I do is I like that it's a neutral color. What I like to do is actually take the book, line it up a little bit. I'm lining it up on my mat here, and then I come in an inch. And I find that that works pretty good. You know what I mean? To give the tape, because this was a 2-inch tape, so I'm giving the new spine and the old spine an inch. That is my logic, and I'm sticking with it. So it doesn't matter what side you do. And also, I find that if I line this up over here and I get the right amount of folding space in there, go down with it. See, and there's a little bit of gap in there. You want that. You need that gap. And then, like I said, this is just to start your spine. And then I like to give it a rub down with the bone folder, get it in there, because that's the new spine. And then I'll just go in with another piece of tape and connect them. And I do want it lined up on the book side just because the fabric, you know, I want try and keep that fabric, you know, lined up. You don't have some long old piece over here and then the fabric doesn't show. But that's a nice bend in there. Okay, so now we'll do the other side. Well, like I said, everybody does it. I've noticed does it a little differently. So just, you know, actually just whatever works for you is key. Next time I pay attention to the tape though and not to get the shiny stuff. So I don't have to sand it. I mean, I don't know if it's necessary to sand, but I think it just helps the decoupage stick on there better. So that's a reason that I do that. I don't know how much you guys can see of this. Okay, you're moving just a little too much there. There we go. And again, you guys, just that little bit of give you want. And this will be all decorated up. You're not going to see the tape. This is just, you know, like the first part of creating your, you know, the new spine. So where to go? If you guys have any questions, let me know because I'm trying to just like do this and tell you, you know, at the same time, and maybe I'm doing something that I'm not explaining. I like to share. Now we'll just go in with a long piece just down the middle. So I like to do the other side though. I like to give this side, you know, there we go. This is just going right down the middle. This is just to cover up any color because sometimes, you know, the cardboard will have color that has a dark green on it. I don't think it'll show through, but just in case. And I think it just, you know, helps too to strengthen it up. This is probably too long. And then maybe you guys do it differently too. I mean, maybe you've done this before. Okay, just rub it down. There we go. Now we have a new spine. Just kind of, you know, play around with it. There. Okay, so now I go in with some sandpaper. Like I said, I'm just kind of trying to get the shine off of this tape. It kind of rolls too where the where that tape meets, so that's why I was doing it in that direction. It's like doesn't have any. Yeah, so maybe the older books we need to just cinch and not do this because, like I said, that first one that I started taking apart, it really started disintegrating. So I was like, oh, okay. I'll wipe off a little bit of the dust. I have some decoupage going on now. This is just shiny backing from stickers. I found that works pretty well. This is, now I haven't used this before, so hopefully this isn't a big fail, but I tear this. I don't cut it, so there's frayed edges. It doesn't matter though. It's about 5 inches, with a little bit more. because I do go in and decorate the edges anyway. I don't know what the, you know what, I gotta cut this though. This is way too long. Trying to figure out maybe there. But I do have to snip it before I tear it. But this piece is like 5 inches wide by, I was gonna measure. This is about what I use. Let's see, this is about 25 inches, the length. So that's about how much you're going to be using. Okay, I do like to start on this side though. So here we go. This is with the Mod Podge. I think I'll use the small one. Oh, gloves. Okay, I like to wear gloves so then that doesn't stick to my fingers. Like the fabric doesn't stick to my fingers. So I found that this just works better. These are just some, I don't know, they're latex or something. I'm not allergic to any of that stuff, so I'm not sure. And I know some people are. Okay, there we go. So you do go in with a good amount. And I do use the paintbrush first. Make sure we're in where everybody can see, where you can see. This is like messy, so, and that's okay. Looks like I got some clumps in there from somewhere. I try not to go too far on the other side of it. On the book side, I mean, I am going to put a piece of decorative something on there, so I don't know if it matters. I'm just wiping off some of the clumps. I think it's from the tape, actually. Okay, so I'm going to set that up there. And then I just try to find, you know, just the middle with my hand. Just so it has the same amount. I think that's a little bit bigger than I want, though. Now this is like a felt, so it is going to move. Like, see, look at the, it's a little bit stretchy. Okay, so that's over a little too far. I don't like the way that's over like that. Maybe it's more than the 5 inches. I don't know. Yeah, I should do this before. Okay. I want most of this to show is why I kind of did that. You know what I mean? More of the little photograph to show. Oh, there we go. So this might be a little bit wavy, but that's just the way it goes. See, and then you go on top, and now I find that using your fingers on this part actually works better than the paintbrush. And this dries clear, but this, it gives a really good adhesion. And it's not stiff, you know, it's a little bit pliable. Maybe the plaid's not a good idea since it's moving so much. Yeah. You just want it, you know, you really want it to just soak in good. That is for sure. And like I said, it's going to dry clear. And this one is the Podge. It's a matte finish. And I have used decoupage on other things, other fabric, and it holds up. So I've not had a problem with it falling off. Got a little bit of string in there. Oh, there we go. And then the I need to move this paper somewhere. Woo! So now, okay, where's the? Just wipe my hands off on a wet one, just so I don't want the. Oh, sorry. Gosh, I don't want the decoupage all over the other part of the book. Is what I'm trying to say. I mean, it might happen, but keep my hands off of it. Okay, so now that might be too much, actually. Oh, that is way too much. So let me go ahead and cut this before cut it. Okay, that was way too much then. So actually, it's probably more like 20 inches. Realize not that far. And again, you guys, this is just the same thing. Putting this on. And like I said, I like moving this around with the paintbrush. I don't know why, but okay. Just saying. This is what I've been doing. But it just gives you guys a good idea. Like, I'm not even sure how long this takes, so this will be a nice reference for me to, look at and say, oh, this took this amount of time. Okay, I think I'm going to trim those things there. I have to wash my scissors again. Okay, there we go. Now we're going to need some more on here for the piece that's coming up. There's a big clump in there. Must have been a piece that dried in there. I did already do 3 of these. I don't know if I said that or not. It didn't seem like, because I wasn't filming, it just didn't seem like there was so much problems, but, a little bit more over here. Okay, so we'll get this piece over, and then that'll be, it's pretty much done. Just, I'm going to put more decoupage on there. Let's have dry decoupage in that bottle. I mean, this is it, you guys. You have to let this dry. I actually put a fan on it, and then it was good and dry in 24 hours or less. I think it was less than 24 hours because I think the fan really helped. So, and then this will be all covered up, like, the trim. You can add trim to the edges, and this part in here and the inside you're not even going to notice. So it looks a little dry over here. That's why I'm adding more. There we go. Make sure this is all down all the way. Like I said, the plaid is probably running just a little bit, or not running, a little bit wavy, just because it's moving as I'm holding it down. Okay. Now, there we go. So now all we have to do is just let this dry. And then I found that letting it dry and then going in and, because I've already kind of bent the spine, it works better that way. Let it dry flat, and then the new spine will bend a lot easier. Okay, guys, there's that. And then the next video, I will show, putting in the signatures. And then that's basically it. You're ready to decorate. Okay, guys, till next time, you guys happy crafting. And just let me know what you think and any comments, likes, shares, subscriptions. I really appreciate it. Bye bye, guys. Have a great day.